Hi everyone, my name is Abhishek Gupta. I am from Kolkata and by profession I'm a technical writer working for a leading software organization. But you probably know me better as a writer of fiction books. I have written 7 books till date. I started my literary journey by publishing a collection of short stories which is called 15 by 1 Story Avenue. Why such a name? Because 15 stories by one author. Hence, the book 15 by 1 Story Avenue. This was one of my earliest publications. I then went on to publish several books on Kindle also. I have a poem collection called Silent Emotions. I have a Kindle short which was very famous and even long listed for the Amazon Pen to Publish Awards. It is called Zarina of Love Forlorn. Then I went ahead and wrote and published another short story collection which is called Season of Love. After writing several short story collections and poem collections, I decided to pen down my debut novel. And Lotsley Hall Publications is the publisher of my debut novel, which is called Visions of a Summer Past. Visions of a Summer Past. That's my latest book. It's a magic realism story which has two distinct timelines. It's about a set of lovers who could not be together, be with each other in the 1940s, and then they are reborn again in our contemporary world in 2016 and they meet in the USA. So, what happens next? Can they be together? That forms the crux of the story. My novel Visions of a Summer Past is a magic realism story. There are two distinct timelines in this book. One is set in 1940s Dhaka, which was at the contemporary British India. Right now, Dhaka, as you know, is the capital of Bangladesh. And another timeline is set in contemporary world. It is set in around 2016-17 in India and parts of it is in the USA. Now, what's the story about? So in 1940s, I speak of a man called Prafulla Chandra Sen, who is a lawyer in Dhaka High Court. He meets a mysterious woman called Asmani Bibi. She is a magical woman. She is a Vika and she can foresee the future and she can bestow powers on people. And Prafulla was very worried about his family, so she bestows the power on him to see the future. Now, Prafulla was a married man, but he felt some sort of connection towards Asmani. Asmani also liked Prafulla much, but they could not be together in that life because Prafulla, for the sake of his family, after partition, he had to transition to Kolkata. And then in the next chapters, I describe a brief about how their journey was in Kolkata, what happened to Prafulla's son and his grandson, what their lives were. Now, cut to 2016, it's about a software professional called Rohit Sen. Rohit Sen had to travel to the USA. He worked as a software professional in Kolkata in an IT company and he had to go to the USA on an on-site assignment. And there he meets a magical, mysterious woman who knows magic as well. Her name is Celeste. And through Celeste, Rohit learns a lot of secrets about his own family. And he is very intrigued at first, but soon he knows that each word that Celeste is saying is true. Soon, Rohit and Celeste are in love and they start traveling across USA and they have many strange experiences, many nice experiences which are described in detail in the book. Now, Rohit has to travel back to India to continue with his job. And once he comes back, there's a great debacle at his workplace. He is in trouble. And there, Celeste tries to help him. But then Celeste suddenly goes missing one day. Now, will Rohit be able to find him back? Can they be together? And why and how is the story related to the story of Prafulla and Asmani? To know all this, you have to read my book. There's a lot of drama, a lot of action, a lot of suspense, and I've tried to write it in the way of edge of the seat thriller. So I guess you will enjoy this one. This will be very entertaining. So please pick up my book. And about my future projects, so well, I'm a Bengali from Kolkata. So after writing several books in English, I'm trying to write a book in Bengali. That would be one of my future projects. And next, for my English books, I'm coming up with a potted book. I have never written a potted book. I'm doing this for the first time. Wish me luck, guys, and I hope you like this book as well, because it's a paranormal comedy, and it's very interesting. You will love this one. If you like old age Bollywood, you will definitely love this one, because there's a lot of reference to classic Bollywood. And yes, if you like ghosts and if you like a funny story, you will love this one. It's a potted book, so it's a short read. It won't take much of your time, and it's coming soon. So I won't divulge the name of the book, but it's coming very, very soon. My literary journey has been fantastic. I enjoyed each moment of it, and I'm looking forward to more experiences that I would cherish forever. So, when it comes to writing, I started writing very early in my life. I started writing from the age of 7. That's because I got inspiration from within my family. My grandmother was a poet, my father is a published author, and like every child does copy their seniors at home, I also copied them and started scribbling. I started writing poetries. So for a very long time, I wrote only for myself. I wrote for my own entertainment. Writing made me feel happy. But it was around 2014 and 15. I was working at that time. I had worked for nearly 7 to 8 years. At that time, I got an idea of a novel, and that's my first novel, Visions of a Summer Past. That's my first debut novel. And when I got an idea, something possessed me, and I just kept writing like a madman. And it took me quite some time. It took me around 2 years to complete that manuscript. And when I had a manuscript in hand, which was around 40 to 50,000 words, I thought, hey, I have done something, so let's publish it. Let's show this baby the light of the world. Let's take it out to the world. Let's publish this book. So I started looking for publishers at that time, but I soon realized that if I publish this debut novel, all of a sudden I will get publishers, but I won't get readers. I won't get much reader reactions, and that's what I was looking for. I wanted people to read my story and give me feedback. To do that, I needed to create a solid readership. So I started to participate in anthologies. I participated in several anthologies as a contributing author. I also started sending my stories to some writing contests. And one of my poems, Summer Noon, won a writing contest around that time. And then what I did was I had a collection of short stories and poems over the years. So I published a Kindle book. It's called That Stupid Bird Called Love. And it was a short story collection of 9 short stories. Then after a few months, Author Paradise Publishers, they approached me. I got in touch with them, and I decided to bring out a paperback, a collection of short stories. And that's how in 2016 my first book, which is called 15 by 1 Story Avenue, was born. And after 15 by 1 Story Avenue, I wrote a few other books on Kindle, one of which is Zarina of Love Forlorn. That story got very famous. I got around more than 100 downloads in just a few weeks of release. And even today, people read that story. And I mean, I don't know why. I have had readers of that story from all around the world. So I had purchases from the US, UK, Japan, France, and even Australia. So I was pretty amazed at that book success. And that's when decided that now, probably now is the time that I can bring out my novel. So I started looking for traditional publishers. I didn't want to go for self-publishing. I wanted this book to be taken up by a reputed traditional publishing house, and I connected with the book betters. Suhel Mathur from book betters, he liked my story very much, and he said, I am going to pitch this one for you. And then Loxley Hall Publishers, they took up my book, and I'm really very grateful to them because the book looks really nice. They have worked so hard on this book, the cover, the typeset, it looks very nice, and they did market it very well. So we had a lit fest where around 600 authors participated. I spoke in that lit fest. I could represent my book. Then they had Instagram live where someone from Loxley Hall interviewed me. I also was interviewed by a host of other literary journals and websites, and all this experience were quite nice, and it gave me the knowledge about the industry. I met a lot of people, and I learned about people. And what I saw is most of the people are nice, but there are some people who do not treat you with due respect. Like for example, I met someone who was organizing a very recently, I met someone who was organizing literary awards. Now, his attitude was that I'm giving you an award like I'm doing a favor to you, and he was not humble in his communication, and that's something I did not like. And I told him that if you do not respect people, people won't respect you back. So that is the first thing you should learn in this industry, how to behave with people. So it's very important. You to be a good writer. If you want to thrive in this industry, be a good person first. If you cannot be a good person, at least behave well with people, because if you do not treat people well, people won't do anything for you, people won't vote for you, people won't like you. So to be a good author, my advice would be a good person first, be humble, respect people. So that's about me. Now let's discuss a few things more. Friends, today I want to discuss a few things about the prevailing COVID 19 situation. We are living amidst a pandemic, and it's probably the hardest time of life for each one of us. And this situation causes a lot of stress on our body and our mind. So it's very important to be resilient, to stay strong and fight this pandemic. We have to fight it together, and we have to be very alert and very cautious to see the end of this pandemic soon. uh, Earlier, we used to go to our workplaces, we used to leave our home and go to our workplaces, kids used to go to school. This all have changed. We are at home. If you have work from home facilities and are working from your home, kudos to you, and don't leave your home if it's not very important. Try to limit your going out. Still it's important because vaccines are still far away. We do not have an exact date for vaccine availability yet in our country. So I would say don't go out if it's very important. When you go out, use masks, use hand sanitizer, maintain social distancing. That's the key to stay safe in this situation. And when you are staying at home, try to spend as much time with your family. Try to call your friends, talk to someone. If you are not feeling well, if you are feeling down and depressed, if you are feeling lonely, call people, try to talk to people, reach out to people, engage yourself in art, read a book, paint something, or browse through paintings, watch a movie, listen to songs. Engage in any form of art you like, but that really helps to alleviate your mood. And as an author, I would say grow a healthy habit of reading, because books are your best friend in these times when you have to limit your outdoor activities. And of all the indoor activities you can, mobile is the greatest evil, and books are your best friend. So choose a book today. A few words from me about the changing world in my industry. So I work in the software industry. I work as a technical writer professionally. In our industry, what's happening? We have completely moved to working from home, and now we'll be working from home mandatorily for next quite a few months. And we used to meet people. We used to have meetings in person. We used to have daily meetings. Now we have those meetings too, but we have those meetings through video conferencing. And what happens is that when you just call someone, that someone is not able to see your body language. So I think video conferencing works better than phone conferencing, because you can see the person, you can see his body language, you can assess him better. Be it a co-worker, be it a client, or be it another stakeholder, it's very important that you see each other. Then you can make an effective communication. And at this time, since we all are in certain amount of stress, it's very important to be humble in your communication. Be positive, maintain assertiveness, but be humble. Try to respect people, because when you respect people, you get better respect in many folds. Believe me, I have seen this happen in my life and career, and you can see this too.